So we're back. Here we are, right where we left off. CSV file is made. Looks a little better already. We still got these ugly betas that don't actually exist, but we'll make up for those later. So now we can actually get into the whole fun of it, I guess. Let's go back to our plan here just to overlook it. So we did we made it a manageable CSV file. That's good. Now we got to extract the values we want from the CSV file. So as I said before, if you didn't see or didn't hear, we got the name of the like the ticker, I guess is what it's called, I think. Beta, this is the price to earnings ratio, and we got the actual what's called like the stock price right now, like the price per share, I guess is what it would be called. So using those, we're gonna get all the information we need. So looking at this, what do we want? We got we need a risk-free interest rate. So if you don't know how to calculate intrinsic value, I'm using the CAP-M technique to make a expected rate of return. There's other techniques, but this is the one that I know a little bit. I don't even know it very well, but I'm gonna show you what I know. But I'm just really making these videos so that people will give me more information on what to do and how to make more money. So if anyone actually sees this, drop a comment, tell me how to make this better and what my investment strategy should be. Maybe like right now, I think I've got like I don't know, I'll go over other stuff, but yeah, it'd be nice to make some money, you know, so let me know how I can make more money. But getting back to this, so we got the risk-free rate, that's R-free. That's pretty much based off, I think it's like the Treasury fund or something. I don't know. There's like a 10-year, maybe it's a 50-year. It's a really long time, like interest rate associated with this Treasury. It's like the United States Treasury. It's supposed to like represent the least amount of risk there is in the market. Super small, as you can see. It's like almost 0.01%, or it's almost, sorry, it's almost 1%. It's 0.096. It's like, yeah, it's pretty small. But so then we got the market rate, which is about 10% on average. I think that's the 10-year rate that I just got from like the S&P 500 or something. That averages about 10%. And then we've got the discount rate here. This is actually the rate that we want to see. So I started doing with 15%. I kind of ended up doing 12%, which is a little less than optimal, just because it was giving me like more. It gives me more stocks that I can look through. And sometimes, like, since this is a general estimate, I wanted just to have a larger variety of stocks that might be valuable. So that's why I did that. I don't know if it's a good idea or bad idea. I'm not very good at this type of thing, so let me know. And then I did 5 years. I was doing 10 years before. It's pretty similar, but I'm just projecting it 5 years in the future. This N years should be like N years or something, but that's what that is here. So where are we? Right here. That's that. Now we're looking at so now we're just formatting it a little bit more. So we're taking all like the information, we're splitting it up by the commas because it's a CSV now, right? So I'm probably doing a little more work than I need to by doing this, because like I already kind of formatted it all, had all the individual pieces, and I just need to split them again. But hey, whatever. So yeah, we're splitting them up by their commas here, and then let's see. Oh yeah, so we're gonna try to pretty much for every single piece that we just split up. Now we're gonna create the name, which is the 0th element, right? Like the index is 0 because we're looking at. Oops, let's go to the good looking one. So we're looking at the 0th element name, right? Okay, that makes sense. We got the beta, which is the first element. Price to earnings ratio second. Price is the third, and then the earnings per share we can actually calculate right now. Might as well. So here we got the beta, or not the beta, sorry, the price to earnings is this total at 2. That's the index of this value that's associated with the PE. I don't know why I didn't just put PE here, but whatever. But yeah, so 1 divided by that times the price, or in other words, the price divided by the price to earnings, then you get the earnings per share from that. And now CAPM, pretty much like if you haven't looked it up, like I said to do, just check this out. So we got the risk-free rate plus whatever the company's beta is, multiplied by the market rate minus the risk-free rate, so the difference in the two. This value is called something, I don't remember what it's called, but you'll probably learn that when you're looking over CAPM. But so basically what we're doing, so without the beta, it's actually, this number is like the same for every single stock. The beta is actually like a scalar kind of, so since it kind of makes sense, the beta is a representation of like the volatility of a market compared to the just the market in general, I guess, or sorry, the volatility of a given stock compared to the whole market, I guess. I'm really bad at this shit, so don't like bitch me out in the comments. But yeah, so basically, if the beta is greater than 1, that means it's going to react like more than the market does to a change. So say the market goes up 1%, I think this is what it is, that the stock would go up like 2%, or say the market goes down 2%, then the stock would go down 4%. You know, if the beta was 2, it's like a scale like that. And that kind of makes sense that you're multiplying it by that, because that's kind of like scaling up the estimated rate of return, I guess. If you have a large reaction to a increasing market, then you're going to make more money than the market does, and it's going to be scaled by beta. But so pretty much, yeah, whatever. So then the future market here, what we're doing, if you don't know how to do compounding or compound interest calculations, these are really basic ones, but so you pretty much have the future value is equal to the present value times 1 plus r to the n. So that's just like, I think that's general compounding knowledge. We're forecasting the amount that this like earnings per share is going to be in 5 years. That's what our end value is, using this estimated rate of return that we calculated a second ago. This estimated rate of return was calculated using the risk-free rate and the market rate and the beta. So this is going to be this estimated rate of return is actually going to be different for each stock just because of this beta value. But so yeah, so we're predicting like its value in the future using this earnings per share, and then we're actually going to multiply it by our price per earning to get our price per share, right? Because that's, yeah, the shares cancel out or the earnings cancel out, and you get like price per share or whatever. And then yeah, so now I guess I called it int val. Let's see what it is. So oh yeah, so that's the value, like the intrinsic value, I think. So what that is, it looks like it's the price we just calculated, which is this future earnings per share, multiplied by the price per earning, because that's going to give us the future price per share, discounted back at the rate that we want to see. So it's discounted back at pretty much this is the same calculation here. This future cash flow is just that now this future cash flow is being discounted to the present. So we have it's just rearranging it. So this is your present value here. This is your future value here. We're just doing the present value is equal to the future value divided by this this expression here. So it's the same thing, but it's just rearranged. So now we're saying this present value right here into val is equal to the future value, which is price per share now, the future price per share, which is right there, which is the future earnings per share times the price per earnings. And then we're going to divide that by this expression here, which is 1 plus cap m. All right, but instead of using cap m, we're using our discount rate that we want to see. So this is kind of like, if all goes according to plan, it's going to be discounted back at this rate. We'll see this return, and then yeah, this will give us our intrinsic value at current time. So yeah, pretty much just outputting the current price per share that we would see if it follows this expected market behavior. So now we're looking at output. So I wanted to output something that's manageable. So we got the name, we got the value, we got the price, and then I actually outputted a what's called a Boolean that's saying if the intrinsic value is larger than the price, just because that's information that we want to know. So that's gonna make it easier later on when I'm going through all of these to see if I should put them on my inside the file that I'm gonna end up displaying. So yeah, I guess we'll take a look at that in a second. All right, so here we are. We just finished up with step 2 of our plan. So we got our values from the CSV and calculated our intrinsic value here. So now we're on part 3, and we actually kind of did part of part 3. So we even have a Boolean variable that's associated with the intrinsic value being larger than the current price. But so now we got to go through and look if that variable is true. So if the intrinsic value is larger than the current trading price, we're going to store all the information about that ticker or that stock, I guess. If it's not, we're just going to get rid of it. And then we're going to actually kind of combine these 2 steps and export it into a file, which is up here, the new stock list, I think is what it's called. So it takes in this total info, outputs what's going to in the future be this stock list. I'm going to close this for now. It'll be a surprise. But so let's get to it. So where were we? So yeah, pretty much last time we looked at it, it's just defining all this stuff and calculating the intrinsic value. So now we're going to get to the pretty much the end of it, the last leg of it. So we're making a new file called new stock list, which I just closed because it's going to make a new one in a second. We're looking at let's see what's output. So it looks like my output. Oh yeah, so output is like, I guess it's an array or a list or whatever. Yeah, I guess in Python it's a list. But so it's just a list of lists or an array of arrays or whatever it is, containing like pretty much the different like comma separated values that are all formatted and defined and stuff. So we got the name, the intrinsic value, the price, like all the things that we calculated and that we want. Now we're going through that, and then we're saying if the output at 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're looking at this Boolean thing here. If it's true, then we're going to write it to it, because this is saying that the intrinsic value is larger than the price, so we're going to write it to this output file that we want to see later. If it's, yeah, so only if it's true though, because if it's false, that means the price is larger, then we don't want it. So then we're just pretty much writing the string. So I got, I'm saying what the name of it is, then we're doing a little comma just to, it's going to look nice, you know, this is also preference, but this is what I chose to do. Intrinsic value and then the current price. This will allow us to look at both of them and then calculate like what we call a safety margin, which will have to be for a future video because I haven't done that yet. But that'll be part of our overall risk assessment once we take it to Ample or whatever, once we make a linear program out of it. So yeah, and then it's going to write a new line after everything so that it looks nice. Closes it, outputs it, then here we're just running it, so we're putting the name total info, that's our formatted list here, or formatted CSV I guess now, and it's going to turn it, so let's give it a shot. We'll make sure we have it loaded here. Let's run it, and now we can open up our what is it? Sorry, new stock list. Sweet. So that's just to show you that it's actually doing something. I'm going to delete this here, save it, and then we're just going to run this again. You'll see it populate. So here's different ones. As you can see, now we can start our analysis. We got a bunch of different ones to work with, which is nice. Throughout the day, this stuff changes, but as you can see, it's pretty late. It's like 6 o'clock, so everything's kind of done changing for the day, and this is what we're left with. Things I'm really looking at would be like LNC, whose intrinsic value seems to be a lot larger. Obviously, this is just to get you started. You know, I never knew where to start, so this is a good start for me, I guess. But if anyone actually sees a video that's this and wants to help me out, tell me what I should do it, because I've just been pouring my money into the ones that seem promising, looking at other information about them, seeing if I understand them and stuff, and trying to make some money. So yeah, I think my next step on this project will be to create a linear program that'll pretty much like associate risk with each one of these investments based on the safety margin, which is the difference in the intrinsic value and the price per share. So kind of like how much can I afford to be wrong in my estimate, I guess, and we'll maybe associate some sort of value to that and try and like either minimize that in general or have some constraints associated with that and try and maximize our overall return. Because we also have the estimated return for all of these, that's our CAP-M calculation that we did before, so we can maybe use that for other stuff. But basically, some of these, like, I'll probably filter down more before I go into the whole optimal like analysis or try and find like optimal investment strategy. I'll probably take off some of these, like stuff like this where it's trading at less than a cent. Pretty questionable. Also, stuff that maybe ones that I don't necessarily see. Like there's this. I guess it's not on here now. For a while there was a sporting goods store. It started with like a B or something, but and it was supposedly like valued at 3 times than what it was trading at right now. And I was thinking sporting goods, that doesn't seem very good because probably going out of business. So stuff like that. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna call it here. I'm pretty rusty on my Python, so I hope that I wasn't just terrible, and I hope that my like style isn't gonna give you some like, I don't know, anxiety or something. But if it does, tell me how to make it better. If it doesn't, tell me how to make it better. And thanks for watching. Yeah, I don't really care if you subscribe or like or anything. If you do, maybe I'll be more apt to make another video follow-up with this project or something, because I mean, who doesn't like a little bit of peer pressure, you know? But if you liked it, give it a like. If not, give it a dislike. I don't really care. But yeah, I hope maybe you learned something, maybe you could teach me something. But have a nice day.